Hi, friend. Jean here with a quick invitation for you before we jump into today's episode. Registration for the Tepper Teacher Training 2026 is now open. If you've ever wished you could spend a weekend with other homeschooling parents who truly understand this journey, this is for you. Join us August 6th through 9th in Northeast Ohio for 4 days of hands-on workshops, the lively arts, meaningful conversations, and time in nature. This year marks our 20th anniversary. What a special time to gather with me and the Taproot team of experienced homeschooling mentors. It's a chance to reconnect with your purpose and bring more creativity and confidence to your homeschool. If that sounds like something you need, we'd love to have you join us. You can find all the details and register at artofhomeschooling.com/taproot. You're listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to the Art of Homeschooling podcast. I'm Jean, homeschooling mama of 3 grown kiddos, and I'm a grandmother now. In fact, as I'm recording this episode, our second grandchild is due any day now. Pretty exciting. In today's episode, I want to talk about something simple that had a profound effect on my homeschooling over the years, and something that I don't think gets enough attention in homeschooling circles. Not curriculum, not planning, not organization, reflection. And specifically, monthly reflection. Because honestly, most homeschooling parents don't need to completely overhaul their homeschool every few weeks. What you need most is a pause, a moment to step back and notice what's actually happening before reacting to it. And that's what monthly reflection can offer. So in this episode, I want to share why this practice matters so much, what it can look like in real life, and how a simple monthly reset can help you homeschool with more clarity, confidence, and calm. By the way, you'll find the show notes for this episode with helpful links at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 256. Why do we skip reflection? I think one of the reasons reflection can feel difficult is because homeschooling moves fast. We finish one lesson and move on to the next. One week blends into another. We're managing meals and laundry and emotions and planning and read-alouds and math struggles and muddy boots and library books and grocery lists. All the things. And when something feels hard, our instinct is often to try to fix it immediately. We start searching. Maybe I need a new curriculum. Maybe I need a different schedule or daily rhythm. Maybe we should scrap everything and start over next Monday. And sometimes change is needed, but many times we haven't paused long enough to really understand what's going on. We're reacting instead of observing. Reflection can help us slow down enough to notice patterns, to help us develop the ability to see our children clearly and be willing to let go of what we expected to see so we can actually see what's there. That's where the wisdom is. Now, I especially love reflecting monthly because it gives enough distance to see the bigger picture. A hard day doesn't mean your homeschool is failing. A rough week doesn't mean your curriculum is wrong. Sometimes your child is tired. Sometimes you're tired. Or it's the month of February. Sometimes everyone just needs more time outside. Monthly reflection helps us stop making dramatic decisions based on temporary emotions. It allows us to make gentle course corrections instead. And over time, that builds something really important: trust. Trust in your children, trust in the process, and trust in yourself. That kind of confidence doesn't come from doing everything perfectly. It comes from paying attention. So what do we actually reflect on? Honestly, I like to keep it very simple. If you know me at all, I talk a lot about keeping things simple, creative, and doable. This can be as simple as sitting quietly with a cup of tea and asking yourself a few questions. Write them down if you want to, or just reflect in your head. Things like, what went well this past month? Where did we feel connected with each other? What brought energy and life into our homeschool? What challenges did we encounter? And what resistance keeps showing up? What can I simplify? What does this season seem to be asking of us right now? Now, sometimes the answers can be surprising. Maybe the thing I thought was not enough was actually the most meaningful part of our days. Maybe the tension wasn't about academics at all. Maybe we were simply overscheduled. Maybe my child needed more movement or more stories, more rest, or honestly, maybe I did. Reflection helps us notice what's beneath the surface. One of the biggest shifts reflection brings is that it helps you become more intentional as the leader of your homeschool, instead of constantly reacting to every difficult moment. You begin responding with more perspective. You start noticing, oh, this always gets hard when our rhythm disappears, or we actually thrive when we keep mornings simple, or my child learns so much more deeply when we slow down. Those realizations are incredibly powerful because homeschooling is not really built one perfect lesson at a time. It's built through rhythms, through patterns, presence, observation, and reflection strengthens all of those. Now, here's some ideas for a simple monthly reset practice. If you want to try this yourself, here's a very simple practice for you. Choose one day toward the end of the month or the beginning of a new month. Light a candle, make a cup of tea, sit outside if you'd like, open your journal, or simply think quietly for a few minutes. And ask yourself, what worked? What didn't? What do we want more of? What can we let go of? That's it. You don't need a complicated system. You just need a rhythm of noticing on a regular basis, because what you notice changes everything. That can influence decisions you make about all aspects of your homeschool. And honestly, this is one reason I love reflecting in community so much. Inside the Inspired at Home community, we gather every month for reflection and coaching conversations around all the topics: homeschooling rhythms, noticing what's going well, challenges members are facing, and setting some intentions going forward. We have a beautiful reflections guide with simple questions for looking back and looking ahead. One of the most powerful parts of doing this in community is realizing, oh, it's not just me. Other homeschool parents are navigating these similar questions and challenges too, trying to simplify their homeschool days and connect more with their children, just like me. That kind of shared reflection brings so much clarity and encouragement. Sometimes another person helps you see what you couldn't see on your own. At the end of just about every reflections call in our community, a member shares something surprising that they discovered, something they didn't see before, something like this. Thanks for reminding us all those special moments with our children count. Because if I hadn't shown up today for this reflection call, I wouldn't have thought of my conversations with my son in this way. Inside the community, we have reflections calls at the beginning of every month, 90 minutes online together to take time for this simple monthly reset. You can find details about the Inspired at Home community at artofhomeschooling.com/inspired-at-home. We'd love to have you join us for the next reflections call. Wherever you are on your homeschooling journey right now, if things feel messy, overwhelming, uncertain, you probably don't need to throw everything out and start over. You may simply need to pause, to notice, and to reflect. Reflection is not about judging yourself. It's about observing and listening more deeply. And often the answers you're searching for are already quietly unfolding inside your homeschool, and reflection can help you notice that. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, I'd love for you to share it with a homeschooling friend or leave a review for the podcast on your favorite podcast player, such as Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. And you can find the show notes for this episode at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 256. If you would like support and community around creating rhythms for reflecting that truly work for your family, come join us inside Inspired at Home. Until next time, take good care, my friend, and happy homeschooling. That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.